Good morning everyone. Welcome to the session on IBPS PO mains, and we'll be discussing the concept of computer awareness today. So as a part of our mains preparation program, we are covering all those extra concepts that are there for you. For example, in reasoning we also have computer aptitude, then we have GK, banking awareness, and all of these important concepts for the mains examination. Already one session I have taken for your computer awareness earlier, where we discussed the basics about computer science, and today we will be starting with the basics of Windows and Microsoft Office. So basic concepts of Windows operating system and also the concept of Microsoft Word and Excel. These are two main things that we are going to cover in this session today. So these will be the goals for your class. Understanding the basic concepts of Windows, which most of you are, I am sure, familiar with, and also understanding the basic concepts of Microsoft Word and Excel. ठीक है. विंडोज़ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एक ऐसा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है जिसे हम रोज़ यूज़ करते हैं. मैक्सिमम लोग जो है जो नॉन प्रोफेशनल तरीके से विंडोज़ यूज़ करते हैं, दे मोस्टली यूज़ विंडोज़ एज द मेजर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. Those are working in a professional environment can also use other operating systems like Linux or Ubuntu. Here, so here I am sure that most of you who use internet and those who go and browse websites or work on basic Microsoft Word files, Microsoft Excel files, and Microsoft PowerPoint files know about these things, but just let's go through a systematic discussion of these things from the exam point of view, whatever is important from the exam point of view. Alright. Now before we start with the discussion, the major part of the discussion today, we will be looking at the previous session CPP question, which is from the discussion on the basics of computer science, जहाँ पे हमने सभी तरह के input output devices, printers, storage devices ये सब डिस्कस किया था. That class I had discussed with you the types of character printers, and in that we had seen character printers, then we had line printers and page printers, right? In the line printers we had seen the concept of a band printer, and that is why the answer for this 10th question is that a type of line printer that is used on an embossed steel band. The name itself tells band. That is called a band printer. Clear? So that is a dot matrix printer uses ribbons, and band printer will be using a band, a steel embossed steel band which can print one line at a time. So that's the answer for this question. Now let's start with the discussion part for today. Let's see, these are the key concepts from Windows operating system that I would want you to understand. Desktop, what is my computer, what is recycle bin, what is Windows Explorer, control panel, start button, all programs, taskbar, quick launch buttons, shutdown options, drives, folders, my documents, run, and command prompt. So when you are using a Windows operating system, whichever version it be, the brief understanding about Windows versions that we had seen. We had been working with Windows 98. If we start from 98, Windows 98 was there, followed by Windows Millennium, followed by Windows XP, which was the prevalent operating system for a long time, one of the most popular operating systems of Windows. Just let me make the correction in the spelling here. Alright. After XP we also had Windows 2000, okay, then we had Windows Vista, followed by 2007, followed by 8, 8.1, and right now we are working on 10. Clear? So many versions of Windows have come, but these are some of the options: desktop, my computer, recycle bin, Windows Explorer, which have been constant through all of these versions of the Windows operating system. Changes have happened in terms of the overall look and feel of the system, in terms of how robust the system is in terms of handling security threats, and how user friendly the system is. Clear? All those things have changed, but the core structure of Windows remain the same. When if you go before Windows 98, Windows 95 was there, which was the first, you can say, a graphical user interface of Windows, because Windows earlier was based on this concept of a DOS, disk operating system. So all of the Windows are based on the DOS concept, disk operating systems. So these are the core concepts that we can see in our. So what is the desktop? So what is the desktop? Desktop is the page that you see once the system boots up and your Windows is uploaded. The first screen that you see is your desktop, in which all of the icons are there that you can access directly from the desktop, like the recycle bin icon, the my documents icon, the my computer icon. If you have saved certain files in the desktop folder, then those files also you will see in on the desktop itself. Okay, the desktop is also a folder in the computer, and desktop is also the screen that you see when the system starts for the first time. And through the desktop, then we can go to different programs that we want to access. Clear? So if you see here, if I press Ctrl T, I can see the taskbar. While the PowerPoint presentation is going on, we can also access the taskbar. So here we can see this is the taskbar. So let's start with this concept here, the taskbar. The taskbar contains what all things are there in the taskbar. So just to show you, the taskbar contains the start button. So this is this round button that you can see here below. This is your start button with the Windows logo on it. Clear? When you click on the start button, you can see all of the different programs which are there. So you can see, first of all, there is an all programs that is there, a link is there which is called as all programs. When you click on all programs, it takes you to the programs installed in the system. Clear? The programs that are installed in the system. If you want to access anything that is already installed in the system, you can use the my programs. You can use the start button, click on all programs, and then go to the specific program. If there are certain programs which are installed in the system and that are grouped under one heading, then they will be inside a folder. As you can see here, we have the accessories folders, right? So for example, paint tool, the run program, or the calculator programs. If you want to use the calculator program, you can click on this, and you can see here the calculator program is there. It's a pre-installed program that comes along with the Windows operating system. If you click on the calculator program, a window will get opened. So what is a window? Window is an interface that we have in which we can operate on a particular program. So here we have a calculator program. You can multiply anything, you can check the answer, so you can copy the result from here, and you can convert this into a scientific calculator. Lots of things are there. You can make this into a scientific calculator, right? Statistics can also be there, where you can find out summation of x square and all of these things. You can find different statistical calculation, like mean is there, right? So very advanced calculator. This was not there earlier in the previous versions of Windows like 98 and XP, but here we have these advanced options in the calculator program. So what we see is that the start button is your access to any of the programs that you have in the system. Clear? In the start button, you can see some of the programs are already shown to you. These are the recently used programs. For example, I recently used the calculator program. So now you can see the link of the calculator program is there in the start button, while you just click on the start button. And then we have my computer here. You can see this my computer. Basically, my computer is your access tool from where you can see the different folders which are there in your computer and access the programs in those folders, right? So my computer gives you a list of all the folders which are there in the system, which you can see. For example, if you can go to this main C folder, all of your Windows files are always stored in the C folder, because you have installed your Windows operating system in this folder. ठीक है, जिस भी folder में आप Windows operating system install करते हैं, वो आपका system folder बन जाता है. एक idea है, we are just going through the basics and understanding how all of these things are there. When you actually see it, is easier for you to understand. So let me just close this window. Again, this is also a window. That is why we call it a Windows operating system. So if we close this window, we can minimize this window. You can see here we can minimize it. So one option is to minimize, another is to restore down. You can see, size can become less. You can increase or decrease the size of this window as you want. These are all the different options that we have while working with the Windows operating system. Clear? You can increase the size, you can restore back to what size it was there. This what you see on the left hand side is the organizer from which we can go to different folders that we want to access in our hard disk. Clear? If I want to go to my documents folder, I can click on my documents. If I want to go to the pictures folder, I can click on pictures. If I want to go to the downloads folder, I can click on downloads and I can access that. This is what is called as the Windows Explorer. You can see here, this is what is called as Windows Explorer. Recycle bin is that folder which is normally a system default folder. Clear? When you install the system, the recycle bin folder is there. Whenever you delete a program, then that program temporarily goes into the recycle bin and is not permanently deleted. Okay? Then you can go and click on the recycle bin and you can empty the recycle bin. If you want to permanently delete a folder, a file from the system, you can press shift plus delete. If you only delete it, then it will go into the recycle bin. So now Windows Explorer, why do we, what is this name separately there? You see, this window that contains all of the drives in your computer, this is itself called the Windows Explorer. If you want to see how we access the Windows Explorer, because there is no such separately link anywhere called as Windows Explorer. So what we can do is we can just go to the start button and type here Windows. You see, when you type here Windows, you can see this will give you the option of Windows Explorer. So when you click on the Windows Explorer, what happens? Again the same Explorer opens. You can see here the library is shown to you first. You can then you can go to your any of the folders again and you can operate there. Okay, so we have seen all of these things here. What is the Windows Explorer? And okay, so here one second, just let me go to the previous page and select the mouse. Okay, so we have seen my computer, we have seen Windows Explorer, start button, all programs. Clear? And we also understood what is a folder. So all your files which are there, which you want to organize properly, then you can put those files inside a folder. Just now I've shown to you, let me just show you quickly what a folder is. Okay, so here when you go to my computer, and this is what is called a folder. You can see this is we can rename the folder if I want to, and then there are properties of folders, right? Sharing properties and everything else. There's something called as folder options also. Clear? So you can create a new folder whenever you want to. You can do this by going here and right click and create a new folder, or you can directly click on this link here which says new folder, and you can create a new folder inside which you can organize your files, right? So files are organized inside the folder. What are files? Files can be either document files, they can be video files, music files, executable files. All of these standalone programs that you have are called as files. Each file can have its own file extension. For example, if you have a Word file, then today in the latest versions of Word, Microsoft Word, the extension of the file will be docx. So if you see, if you can just close this window here. So when you have a Word file, you can say, let's say document can be the name of the file, document1, this is the name of the file, and followed by the extension of the file. What is the extension? Docx. So this is called as the file extension, and on the left hand side there is a dot here between the file extension, and this is the file name. The file extension tells the system which application software should be used for opening this file. If you delete the file extension, the Windows operating system will ask you which program do you want to use to open this file. Okay, so we have understood what is a folder, what is a drive. Drives are basically memory partitions in your hard disk. You can, if suppose you have a 1 terabyte hard disk, 1000 GBs you have, you can create it into different partitions, right? Each partition can have certain files and folders, right? The main partition is the one in which you install the operating system, and so we can divide 1000 GB into, let's say, 3 or 4 different memory sections, each of, let's say, 300 or 350 GB, depending upon how much space you want in a particular folder, in a particular drive. These are called as drives. In addition to the fixed drives, that are the C drives and D drive, we also have the optical disk drives. So if I just show you here, there is something called as the optical disk drive. If you go into the computer, you can see this is a disk drive, DVD read write drive D. This is an optical disk drive. if you attach any secondary storage device, external secondary storage devices like external hard disk or external USB drives, then they will also appear on in your My Computer screen as external drives. Clear? So we have external fixed drives, the optical disk drives, and we have the external drives for external hard disks and the USBs that we have. My document is again a folder that is there in your computer, normally in the drive in which you have installed the system. There is a My Documents folder which contains all of your documents that you create and you store. Although you can store the documents in any other drive, any other folder that you want to, the default location for your documents is My Documents, whether it's a picture, the notepad file, the Word file, Excel file, all will default location will be My Documents. So these things we have understood. Recycle bin also I have explained to you. What is the control panel? So you see, control panel is there, and we'll also look at the taskbar once more to understand what are quick launch buttons, and then we can also see run, command prompt, and control panel. Let's look at all of these things together once, right? So we'll be looking at what is the taskbar, what are the quick launch buttons, what is run, what is command prompt, and what is control panel. Just let's look at it live by operating the system itself. ठीक है, तो हम लोग सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं, ये देखते हैं task bar है ये, what you see below here, this is the task bar in which your running programs can be seen, and these are the quick launch buttons. You can see here we have the quick launch buttons. I am taking the mouse cursor there. This is the quick launch button for Google Chrome. If I click on it, Google Chrome will open. This is the quick launch button for Mozilla Firefox. So these are the quick launch buttons. Then we have quick launch button for the Internet Explorer, Windows Explorer, and these are the running programs here clubbed together, and this is also running program. This is also control panel. So I have opened the control panel. Just let me close this, we'll open it separately. This is your you can see on screen keyboard. If you want to create an on screen keyboard and you want to directly type using your mouse there, then you can open the on screen keyboard. This all of these things here. On the right hand side you can see the notification area is there. Then we have the timer and calendar here. Then we have this link here which shows hidden icons. These are all the icons that should be there on the taskbar, but then it will make the taskbar look very clumsy. So what we do, we club them together, and when you want to access them, you can show hidden icons. All of these icons are the icons on the taskbar. When you see customize, you can see click here to select what icons appear on the taskbar. So this is nothing but to customize your taskbar. We can create, there is also a toolbar. If you want a toolbar, you can create a toolbar in the on the taskbar. You can create a toolbar which can help you directly access something that you frequently access, maybe a folder, or you want to access a desktop. You can create a new toolbar also if you want to. In that toolbar is nothing but a link. It's a shortcut link. It can be a link to a folder that you want to access frequently, so that you don't have to click on My Computer and go to that particular drive and then go to the folder. You can directly do it from here. Okay. For example, if I create this toolbar called as desktop, then you can see now the desktop has come here, and when I click on the desktop, it shows all the programs that are there on the desktop. Clear? So if you want to remove it, you can remove it also. Just go and click on it once again, and the desktop folder will go. So that is what is called a toolbar. This entire panel below, this ribbon that you have below on the screen, you can change the position of the taskbar also. You can put the taskbar, if I want, I can pick it up and put it on the top of the screen also. I can put it on the left of the screen or the right of the screen. That's about taskbar. Start button already. So this taskbar I have shown to you. I have also explained to you what are quick launch buttons, and then let's look at the run and command prompt. So what is run? One shortcut link for run is this here. This magnifying glass that you can see, it's used for search also, and if you write the name of the program and press enter, it will work as run also. Clear? For example, if I show you here, if I write the name of a program, notepad, and I press enter, then it will open the notepad. So it's working as run. It is also the search button. Clear? You can search for files and folders in your computer using that same tool. So this tool here, this place of writing something, the search bar you can say, which you can see the magnifying glass is there, and it says here search programs and files, but this is also the run. But you want to see separately how does run look like. click on all programs. You can go to accessories, and you can see here we have this link for a program called as run. When you click on run, it opens a dialog box here in which we have the option to type the name of something. For example, I can type notepad and click OK, and run will open the notepad. Clear? Similarly, if I want to open the command prompt, so what is command prompt? Let's just go to run again. Alright, so we'll click on run, and here if I write CMD, that is short form for command prompt, and if I press OK, this DOS dialog box will open. This is the windows where we can type DOS commands. For example, right now we are in the name, the drive name is C, the folder is users, inside users we have classroom, and right now we are inside this. So if I want to check the files here, I can press directory and click here. It will show me what all files are there in this particular folder of classroom. If I want to clear the screen, I can just type there CLS, and that will clear the screen. Sometimes while doing some system work in the computer, or removing some very you can say resilient virus, or making some other important changes in the system administrator can use the command prompt to install something, to run executable files, or you can say to execute a C program or a C+ program, Unix programs. We can use the command prompt. Right now you can see there is a classroom here. If I write CD, that is the short form of change directory, put 2 dots and press enter, it goes to the directory before it. See, from classroom we have gone to the previous folder, which is users. Now I can change, I can find out, and then we can go to the directory. So these are all the DOS commands. Are there many things are there in DOS? It's not in the scope of this discussion here to complete everything. Let's click, let's type here exit and then press enter. This will exit from the command prompt. So now we'll come back here. So we have seen the command prompt. Okay, one second. Just go back here. Alright, so we have seen what is run, what is command prompt. Shutdown options, when you click on shutdown, you press Alt 4, or when no program is run, you can press Alt 4, or you can go to the drive here and then you can opt for shutdown. There are different options here. For example, you want to log off. In the Microsoft Office, we have options of creating users, different users who can have different access permissions. To the permission to access, to what level they can access files and folders, to what level they can make changes, and the users can be created by the administrator. So administrator is the user who can access everything uncontrolled. Then we have log off, lock, restart, and sleep. These are all the different options that we have in the shutdown options. So again, this is one thing. And control panel also I wanted to show you. We click on control panel, we have this screen which opens, in which all of these different types of control options are there. For example, you want to view hardware and sounds, you want to see all the hardwares that are installed in your system. You want to uninstall a program, then that is this is the link for that. And you can also go and change your network and internet settings from here, system and security settings from here. So these are all categories, and right now I am viewing them by categories. Category wise देख रहे हैं अभी हम लोग, पर आपको सभी के सभी आइकन्स चाहिए तो आप यहाँ पे क्लिक करिए, or you can click on large icons. So now this will show you all of the options that you have. For example, you want to change something in the keyboard, you can click here. You want to change a mouse speed of the mouse or the cursor options. You want to make the left click as right click as left click, then this is the option for that. You want parental controls, power options, sound, tablet settings, all of these things are there. Large icons can be there, small icons can be there, all categories. The default option is to open in the category. This is what is called as control panel. यहाँ से आप अपने सिस्टम के चीज़ों को कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. आप किसी प्रोग्राम को अनइंस्टॉल करना है, या कोई डिवाइस आपने कनेक्ट किया है अपने सिस्टम पे, पर वो डिवाइस ठीक से इंस्टॉल नहीं हो रहा है, या अगर वो डिवाइस इंस्टॉल हुआ है उसको ड्राइवर अपडेट करना है. ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स कैन बी डन फ्रॉम द कंट्रोल पैनल. ठीक है. So now I think we have covered all aspects of this. So control panel also we have discussed, quick launch buttons, command prompt. So these are all the basics of Windows operating system. I hope I have given you a brief idea about the Windows operating system, and this will help you if there is any question which comes from the Windows operating system. It will be around these things only. Okay. Now let's look at Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is a word processing application under the Microsoft Office suite that is there in the your computer. So you have to install it separately. It does not come along with Windows operating system. Microsoft Office is a separate application package in which lots of applications are there, like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Access, and a lot of other things are there. Microsoft PageMaker is there, and many more things, right? So Microsoft Word is one that we use frequently. This is a page screenshot of Microsoft Word 2007. You can see again here we have a round button. This was not there in the previous versions like 2003, right? But or Word 1998. So this is a round button which is basically your office menu. You can click on this button and you can access the different types of options like save, save as, print, print preview, publish to PDF, Word options. All of these things will be under the office menu. And on top here we have the command tabs. This home, insert, page layout. These are all called tabs. Right now what you see here, this is a ribbon. This entire thing that you see here, this entire thing is a ribbon inside which different command groups are there, different things that we can do. This is what is called a ribbon. Okay. So if I just show you a little bit more detail. Okay, let's see. This is Office 365. This is Windows Office. Office 365 is an online version of Microsoft Office. Okay. Right now you see only tabs are there. We have the file, home, insert, design, layout, preference. All of these are tabs. Now if I click on the home tab, then the ribbon will come. A ribbon will appear on the screen in which all of these are different command groups through which we can do different tasks. For example, if you type something, right, and you want to make it bold, then you can click on the home tab and you can click on Control B and make it bold, or you can make it italics, you can underline it, you can cross it, right, or you can create a superscript, subscript. You can change the size of the file, increase the size, increase font, decrease font. You can change the case of the font also. So uppercase, you can make it lowercase, right? So these are all things, and you can this is all for paragraph. This is font editing, this is paragraph editing. These are direct shortcuts. For example, you want to create heading 2, these are all shortcut styles. You can apply styles from this. This is styles. This is find, replace and select. You want to insert something, let's say for example you want to insert a table, or you want to insert a picture, or you want to insert a chart. Clear? These are all illustrations. This is tables. This insert a page break, right? Link, hyperlink. You want to create a hyperlink, you can do that from here, from insert. Then design is there. Clear? Paragraph designing, all those things. References, mailing, review. You can change, you can add comments, you can make corrections in the file, you can track changes, you can put comments, you can change the language. All these things come under review. Then you can view, and you can change the layout, you can change the reading mode, web layout. So all of these that you see, when you click on tab, these are called ribbons, right? So many different ribbons are there. Whenever you want something, you can just click on this and see the ribbon. So right now we are on the home tab because home tab is highlighted. This is the home tab ribbon, and each of these here is a command group for font editing, for paragraph editing, for styles, for find, replace and select. This is the ruler here. This is the ruler. This is the horizontal ruler. This is the vertical ruler. Clear? From which you can change the size of the printable page. This is a scroll option. So we have a vertical scroll. Sometimes we have a horizontal scroll also. This white space which you see is a document space in which you can type whatever you want to type. This is a document view. You can change the view of the document directly by clicking here, or you can go and do that by clicking on the view tab. You can click on the view tab and change the view, or you can change the view directly by clicking here. Okay, and then we have this, gives you the page. This is the status bar. It gives you the page information. It gives you number of words on the page. Clear? And this is the zoom option where you can increase or decrease the size of the page. Okay, so once again if I show you it in a live file, you see here we have the page 1. How many words are there? 1 word is there. What is the language? English is the language. And here we have the different options. You want to click on the read mode. This is the read mode. Okay, you can close the read mode from here. You can see this is the print mode, print layout, and this is the web layout. How will your program look in the web layout, print layout, or this? You can change the view, you can increase or decrease the size of this thing. So if you go to the print layout and decrease size, because in print layout what you see is exactly how it will get printed, clear, and based on the page size. For example, if you go to the page size and you go to page setup, okay. Now right now what is the paper that we have? Paper is A4, margins, top margin is there, so the space on the top that you want to leave for printing purpose, top margin, the bottom margin is 1 inch, left margin is 1 inch, and right margin is 1 inch. If you want to add a gutter space, what is the gutter space? Normally what happens when you are printing a file and you print A4 sheets, right, and you want to publish print it in the form of a book, then you have to remember that book will be bound. There is a binding to be done. Some extra space is required for the binding purpose, so that the left margin and right margin are equal. This extra space that we give is what is called as the gutter space. I can add a gutter space of, let's say, 0.5 inch, because I believe that 0.5 inch is what is required for the stapling or the binding to be done, and I can choose whether I want the gutter position to be on the left or the top, clear. So in which way the binding will be done, I can choose that, and accordingly I can make the gutter space on left or top. You can see here, when you put the gutter in the left, you can see here this side there is a binding space that is there. This is called as the gutter space. When I put it on top, you can see it goes on the top, clear. So that's a little bit of understanding regarding the gutter space that is there. If you see, if I have the application to zoom, okay, just let it be. Okay, now here you see, if I increase the size of the gutter, you can see that the gutter size is increasing here. Now the gutter is on the top. I decrease the gutter size, it is decreasing, and I can put it on the left side. You see here how this much I have now, this much will be used for binding purpose, and your document will come here. Please understand this, many people don't know how you can change the gutter size, and also you can change the landscape. You can change the, right now it is a portrait mode, vertical mode, you can make it into landscape mode, and that is changing to landscape. Multiple pages, you can see multiple pages, book fold, all of these are options in your Microsoft Office Word. You can minimize your window here. Okay, let's come back to this. So we have briefly understood all the different parts here. Understand there are 3 types of views. One is your print layout, which shows how it will look in the printed form. One is the web layout, which shows how your document will look in the web form. That means when it will be published in a website, how will it look like on a website? That's the web layout. Reading layout is for your reading purpose. You can see the full screen page here, and number of options are there. You can see 1 page, 2 pages, printed page. You can see the margin settings also. You can increase the text size or decrease the text size for your comfort while reading. That is the reading layout. Then we have an outline layout. Normally this is what is not there, mostly you cannot see in today's current files, current window office versions, but outline layout is a very important layout. When you click on the outline layout, you can see here everything is given. So this is the heading, clearly shows that this is the heading and everything is under this heading. So I can understand now, particularly very useful for making notes and putting a proper structure to your document. This is what is called as outline layout. Okay. Now draft layout means this is nothing but an faster way of the print layout. Same thing as print layout, but faster. Earlier, when the system did not have as much computing power as the systems today have, clear. For example, when I had my first Windows operating system installed in a computer as early as 2002, then in that system the processing was very slow. RAM was only 128 MB, my hard disk was only 20 GB. So that time processing power was not there. So to easily check, because when you run the print layout, lot of processing is required, but when you run the draft layout, less processing is required. It's faster way of accessing the draft layout. But in today's system with fast processing capabilities, with good RAM and high processing power, this is not so much required, the draft layout. Okay. Now text formatting, let's just quickly go to formatting part of the Microsoft Word. 2 types of formatting we have. One is your text formatting, one is your paragraph formatting. But when you start formatting, the first thing that you need to do is to select something. So how do you select a word? Shortcut for selecting a word, double click on a word to select it. If you double click on a word, it will get selected. If you triple click, then the entire paragraph will be selected, and if you control and click, then only one sentence will be selected. These are all shortcuts for selecting something in your Microsoft Word. Double click to select a word, triple click to select a paragraph, and control plus click to select a sentence. Okay, after you've done the selection, then you can format it, whether it's a word or a sentence or a paragraph. The two types of formatting. If you're formatting the characters, words, then we can go to character formatting. If you want to format the paragraphs, you can go to paragraph formatting. Okay, let's look at this. Text formatting, character formatting, font type. So what is the first type of character formatting? That is font type. Select what type of font you want. Whether you want a default font. The default font right now is Calibri. Earlier it was Arial, A-R-I-A-L, Arial. Right now the default font in Microsoft Word is Calibri. And then you can choose, okay, whether you want a serif font. See, serif fonts are those which are this ending, this is what is called the ending part. This is called serif font. If you look at sans serif, you see there is no ending here. Clear? So in the font name itself I have shown to you what do we mean by serif and sans serif. There is nothing, though extra edges are not there. No, these extra edges if we add, it will become serif. If we don't add those extra edges, it will become sans serif. Third option is whether you want, okay, one example for serif very quickly is Arial. Arial is a sans serif font, or Calibri itself is a sans serif font. Times New Roman is a serif font. Garamond is a serif font. Cambria is a serif font. These are all serif fonts. Depending upon different purposes, you can decide what font you want. Next is, what else do you want to know about fonts? Whether it should be a monospaced font or it should be a proportional font. A monospaced font, as you can see in this also, I have selected Courier New. What I have chosen? Courier New as an example to show you what is monospaced. Every letter gives the same space, then that is called as monospaced font. Whereas in proportional, some letters have less space and some letters have more space. So that is what is called proportional. Clear? So two options while selecting fonts, we also decide upon whether we go for monospaced or proportional. Now if you want to save space, put more information in less space, then it's better to go for proportional. Whereas if you want to highlight something, or you, for example, the heading or the first page of your project report can be in monospaced also, looks very professional, but the entire content cannot be in monospaced font, it will not look good. Next we decide on what is the font size. Is it bigger, smaller, less small, or very small? You see, font size can be changed directly. If you go to the Word document, there will be option in the character formatting page. You can see, I'll just show you here. This is when you go to home itself, the font size here, we can increase the font size. You can see, I can increase the font size, decrease the font size. I can type a number directly here. I can make it 10.5 also. See, it's my option. I can give decimal fonts also. And I can say, okay, let it be 10.5 or let's say 23.2. Can I put 23.2? You can see here, this is not a valid number. That means a font size can either be an integer or it can be a decimal ending in 0.5. So if I put 23.5, then it will say, okay, fine, this is correct. So either a font size can be a decimal number ending in 5, or it has to be an integer. That's also something that you should remember regarding font size. So okay, so font size is then a very important option. For headings we normally use larger font size, for paragraphs less size, for the cover page we even use larger font size. Okay, next is font color. Depending upon what is the requirement, we can choose different color for the font. Okay, and again you can go to the same font formatting command group that is there. So it's a font formatting command group. This is the font formatting command group. This entire group here, you can see below is written font. So you can change the color, you can highlight the color, you can change the font color from here. See, all of these are options. You can highlight the font. If I highlight it, you can see this is yellow. So if this is what is called as highlighting, and I can change the color of the font. I can make it red here. First I have to select, because if I don't select, it will not change. So I can make the color red now. You can see here the color has changed to red. This is what I mean by font color, Font styles can be bold, italics, it can be bold or italics. The shortcut key for bold is Control B, the shortcut key for italics is Control I. You can underline the font by using Control U. You can strike through the font, or you can superscript the font. As you can see here, T is in the superscript here. This T is in the superscript, or you can subscript. Now you can see this T is here in the subscript. So superscript or subscript, these are all the character formatting options in Microsoft Word. Some of the shortcuts I have given to you: Control B, Control I, this is I, Control I, Control U, this is all shortcut for formatting. Next we look at paragraph formatting. So what are the different types? Alignment. So one is alignment. So you see, alignment can be font, your text can be left aligned, Control plus L, left align, or you can align it right, Control plus R, that is right align, or you can align it center, Control plus E is this center align, or you can justify it, Control plus J. So these are all shortcuts for the alignment. Next we have tabs. While typing, sometimes we have to give tabs. So this is the space of one tab, this is the space of two tabs. According to that, you can give space as required in your document. Then we have line spacing. Line spacing can be 1, 1.5. You can change the line spacing. Paragraph spacing, giving space between paragraph, clear, and indentation. So you see what has happened. This much I have changed. I have moved it to the right. This is called as indentation. This is one thing that you would want to see in the document itself. Let's see. This is our Word file right now. Okay. So this is the line. We'll go to the home page, and you see this is what is called increase indent. When I click on this, you see it shifts to the right. Again, one more, shifting to the right. While starting the paragraph, sometimes we need to indent it. I can decrease indent or increase indent. Clear? This is what is called as indenting. Next is dropped initial capital letter. Borders and shading, we can put a border around the document. Bullets and numbering can be done. These are all the different options in Microsoft Word. Then we have MS Excel. It's a workbook or worksheet, and usually the default extension for MS Excel is .xls.xlsx from Windows 2000, Microsoft Office 2007 onwards. The extension is .xlsx. Each workbook can contain up to 255 worksheets, but by default it displays only 3. So when you open a new Excel file, it will display only 3 worksheets. Again, just quickly, if I show you 1 second, when you open an Excel file, alright. So let me see whether the Office tool is here or not. Okay. Alright, just let it be. Okay. So yeah, Excel is here. So when you open the Excel file and you go to a blank workbook, you see sheet 1 is there. All of these are worksheets. This is Office 365. Only one sheet was visible here. Each of this is a worksheet. This is called a cell. When you click on the cell gets highlighted. You can type a number in the cell. You can go and type the number in this cell. Clear? So this is what is called a cell. If you click here in the corner, the entire worksheet gets selected. The worksheet is based on rows and columns. So rows have numbers. As you can see here, rows have numbers and columns have letters. Clear? So you can see here, rows have numbers and columns have letters. A, B, C, each of these is a column. When you go to when you reach Z, when you reach Z, then A, B, B, A, B will go to A, Z, and so on, so forth. These are all columns, and these are all your rows. You can click on this end to select a row. You can click on this end to select a column. You can click here to select the entire sheet. Now these are your 2 cells which I selected. You can select the 2 cells together. And what you can also see here, again we have ribbons and we have different types of formatting options. Insert, page layout, very much like Windows Microsoft Office Word. Same thing will apply here. Views are also there here. Normal view, page layout, page break review. You can see page layout is here. It will show you by pages when you print, or you can go to the normal view here. See, it shows the end of the page. You see this dotted line shows the end of the page. You can go and check the print preview also. Okay. Right, inserting, you can insert a graph as you want. You can change the page layout. Very much quite like your Windows Microsoft Word. what we can do in Excel is we can make programs. We can actually add the sum. We can see what is the sum of these numbers by either typing the, see this is D3. So D, column D, row 3. So always the cell address will be starting with the column and followed with the row D3. So this number is in D3 row. So I can type here also. You can type plus and I can choose this D4 and press enter. This gives you the sum of these two numbers. Now we could have also found the sum by using a function. So we have also a function sum, and once you click the function, it will ask you for parameters. You're passing some values, number 1 and number 2. I can select like this also, select two numbers. So what I've done here is given a range starting from D3 to D4. Whenever you put two dots in between, that gives you a range of these cells. From which cell to which cell do you want to select? Don't have to type the name of all cells. Put the starting cell, put two dots like a ratio symbol and the ending cell. Clear? And when I click on enter, you'll get the same sum here. Clear? Can you see that? We can find average. So much is there that we can do. We can find sum, we can find search, second, we can find average of numbers. You can see option for average is there. We can find the LCM of numbers also, LCM, or we can find the HCF, but HCF is not called HCF in Microsoft Word or Excel. It's called GCD. You see, GCD of two numbers, the greatest common divisor, that is the highest common factor. These are all the things that we can do in Microsoft Excel. Okay, rows and columns and cells already I have explained to you. What is a cell? We have already shown that to you. And cell address always goes with column name first, followed by row name next. And then this is an example of selecting A1 plus A2. Formulas and functions. What is a formula? Formulas always start with equal to, and we can write the name of the cell and do mathematical operations like plus, into, division, all of those things. And operator, while putting mathematical expressions, remember that highest precedence. Which operator has highest precedence? The percentage, followed by the exponent. So 2 power 3 we write like this, 2 exponent 3. Then this is your multiplication operator, this is the division operator, then addition, then subtraction. This is the order in which Excel will perform the mathematical operations. Clear? Next is your Excel comparison. How do we compare? We know equal to, greater than, less than. Now how do we write less than, equal to? We write like this, less than, equal to, less than or equal to, greater than, equal to, greater than or equal to. And how do you write not equal to? You put the less than symbol, greater than symbol, that becomes not equal to. So while using mathematical functions in Excel, if you don't know these operators, then you will have difficulty. Okay. So I have discussed with you in detail the basics of Windows operating system, some of the key concepts, and I have showed you live how those things work. Also Microsoft Word important concepts, formatting and everything else, and also I have shown to you live Microsoft Word file and how do we operate it, and so the same thing we have done with Excel also, right? So I have covered these three important topics for you. You can practice if you have Microsoft Word and Excel installed. You can go and practice and check all the things which I have discussed today and get more familiar with these concepts. Alright, so now is the time for the class practice pack. Those who have passport access will start solving questions once you hear the sound. The question which you will get wrong, most of you get wrong, I will be discussing in my next computer awareness class. So best of luck to you for your examination, and thank you for watching the video.